Welcome back to this season's Banlist prediction video. When is the Banlist? Nobody knows, guys, but I think it is a good time to discuss the Banlist and, by proxy, discuss the format itself. Before we begin, make sure to check out sleevechief.de tonight, 2 hours from now, 9 p.m. Central European for the new Blue Eyes collection. If you want to support the channel, this is the absolute best way to do that. So check it out after the video. The link is in the description below. It might be already up for sale, so be quick before it runs out. Balance prediction. We have had 2 ICSs. We're going into several more. It's probably not going to be before Vegas, which is middle of March, I would say, or it will be for Vegas. So it could be basically exactly a month from now, which I think makes sense. Given like 3 or 4 Banlists a year, could make sense. Which decks are we talking about? We have Ryzel at the top with Fiendsmith. Fiendsmith being an engine that has been around forever. We have Malice, we have Tenpai, Bestials, Kosturas maybe, Mermail, Blue Eyes. Let's talk about it. First of all, let's get rid of this because we don't need it. We don't need it. Let's discuss based on the order. And first of all, it's going to be Lancia. There is going to be some cards here that, are super impactful for the format, right? Lancia, Shifter, Droll, things like that have a very hard lasting impact on the format, and Lancia is one of them. Unfortunately, I think for all of these cards combined together, there's just not going to be any impact from Konami's side. I think their strategy is to keep the necessary evils. I didn't put Shifter here, but Shifter is also not going to be touched in this list, I believe. I think that if we're talking about Droll, if we're talking about Lancia, and especially if we're talking about Dimensional Barrier, these are all like the big evil horses of the apocalypse. Most of you are going to say, yeah, Lancia should be a 3 because Malice is super unfair. And I think that even though these cards are like awful, right? They are awful. Lingering Floodgates, the best of the best, strongest Floodgates. They probably do deserve to stay in the game. In terms of Konami's eyes, this is probably what they think. Bonfire. I think Bonfire is finally going to 1, and I'll explain why. Konami also likes to hit things very late. However, this card is very relevant today in Ryzel. This searches 2 of the best cards in the format, Ice Ryzel, it searches X Ryzel, and they generate a lot of advantage. This card is not new, already reprinted twice, and it is 99.9% that this one is going to get limited. They will not likely hit the engine cards of Malice and Ryzel, and I think they will hit around it and give them more time because they're getting more support. So there is no shot in hell, but I think this one is pretty certain. And also, in the new set, Maze of the Master, there's going to be a new card for Tachyon that can search these guys. So they're not losing consistency. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I think that they might release a few cards from the Banlist. I think now that, especially where Snake Eyes is no longer here, some of the casualties of that format should come back. I never understood Borreload Savage Dragon. I know they like to take care of boss monsters and keep it relatively archetypal. But I think this one can come back because we're going to start hitting dragons right now. It is probably time to limit these 2. If you don't know, Bestials have been limited, all of them except for Serenir, in the OCG for basically since they came out, right? All of them in 1. I think it is time to do that, and this is going to be their main way of hitting Malice. This is going to be the main way of taking care of the consistency of Malice. It is not a hyper consistent deck today, and it needs the Bestials, and this is going to be the best way of hurting them without touching any of the engine cards, especially where they're getting more support in the new set. And I think Magnamut is the one that is going to go to 0 in this one. Too strong in Blue Eyes, too strong in Tenpai, too strong in Dragons, too strong of a card. I love Magnamut, it is branded lore, but unfortunately this card is way too powerful. Maybe if you limit all of them, it can stay at 1. I personally want it to get banned, and I think Serenir probably shouldn't get banned, just to not hit branded more, because I think this is a major hit to branded. This is also like pretty bad for branded, but Serenir is a branded card, and I think it should probably stay that way. Probably can start taking things off the ban list. I think Change of Heart just got semi-limited in the OCG, and I think it's gonna come back. And I think we have Fiendsmith cards, right? Fiendsmith, there's a big question mark. I think that DDD Wave High King Caesar is the one that's gonna get banned. And this is not based on what I think is correct. This is based on what I've seen Konami do. Every time there's a strong deck, they take out the Baron. They take out the Warlord Savage Dragon. They take out the Apollosa, right? They take out the boss monsters. And this is probably not going to be an exception, because 2 reasons why. This card is extremely good and oppressive for almost 2 years now since Unchained format. But if Konami does limit Bonfire, it means that Ryzeal will take a hit. Ryzeal will start playing 7th Tachyon, which is the new spell that allows you to search basically any card, right? But it locks you into Xyz monsters. So, are you going to play Fiendsmith, or are you going to play a less consistent deck? That is going to be the choice that Konami leaves the Ryzeal players with. And I think it's a good one, right? I don't think Fiendsmith is there yet. And for the same reason, I don't think engine cards from Ryzeal are going to get hit. Not now. X is definitely going to get hit in the future. It's going to go to 1 on the next ban list, but not yet. Another boss monster for Ryzeal and Mermail is going to be Abyss Dweller. Just got banned in the OCG. I think everybody wants to see this card banned, even ever since Tier Elements format. Lingering Floodgate, accessible, rank 4, easier than ever to make today. Send it. Konami does like to limit cards very late. Fenrir is probably going to be on here. Maybe more Kostriar cards. I think they're going to catch it late. The Kostriar Bestial 10-pipe packages. No more. No more of that. I think they're going to take care of it. Now, there are some cards that Konami has recently released, right? I think they can definitely, hopefully, right? I think these 2 are probably pretty safe to go to 1. These 2 maybe. They're not going to do anything to the format, so I think it's fine to release all of them. And that's absolutely great. Again, Malice cards. So I think the Bestials are going to be the main hit to Malice for now. It is the 2nd best deck, maybe even the 3rd sometimes with Mitsurugi. It doesn't deserve to get hit significantly. Maybe through Shifter, but I don't think so. And they're not going to touch the engine right now, so don't look for it. Maxi is going to go back to 1. It will probably make you laugh. I think there's some conspiracy here with the OCG and Master Duel. And Konami's way of checking combo decks is actually going to be reintroducing Maxi. This is a wild guess. I don't think I want this. I definitely don't want this to happen. It's my guess for what's going to happen. This will check the combo decks without having to hit their engine that people have paid for. This just got a reprint in Speed Duel, and this is getting a reprint also in Rarity Collection. It's mainly for older formats, but maybe. Dinkabui is probably going to get Extravagance Limited finally. This is a very good card that I believe is limited in the OCG right now. This is a draw 2. And maybe it's gone a little bit unnoticed. I know that a lot of you are going to say, "But my rogue deck needs it." I don't think it's a good card. It's a good card, but I don't think it's necessarily like oppressive. I think Konami might actually do it. Gamma is probably. I really hope it goes to 2 as a way to balance the format with the Molcharmies, with the Shifters, with the Lancias. That is a good way to maybe put a counterbalance on that, I think. Bringing this back, putting a little bit more threat on draw phase Shifter, draw phase Molcharmy, draw phase Lancia. This puts a threat over it, which is good. Make people play more into talents maybe, wait for summons and stuff like that. Maybe, but maybe that could be a cool strategy. There could be a world where they start considering bringing tier limits back and bring back 1 name to 2. No Shufflers, no Millers, just 1 name for now to see what happens, right? That could be a possibility. Bestial Lubellion, also with the Bestials, I think will remain at 3. Again, a good card for Dragons, a good card for Branded mainly. But it's been really oppressive being able to search so many Bestials. But if you have like 1 of each, maybe it's not that bad. And then the final hit to Tenpai and to Malice is going to be banning terraforming. I think terraforming, it is banned in Master Duel. I don't think it's banned in the OCG, I think. It's probably limited. I think this is how they're going to take care of this format as well. They see Tenpai is still a thing. Bestials are going to kind of take it down, cost you our limitations. But terraforming, I think people would agree that this card, no thank you. No more 4 field spells in the game. It's a hit to Tenpai, it's a hit to Malice, indirect of course around. And I think it's a pretty interesting one. If that happens, I will not be unhappy with this. These are my takes for the current next ban list, maybe. I really want to hear your thoughts in the comments because this is all that matters in this discussion. Don't forget about the Sleeve Chief Blue Eyes package collection coming out. A new deck box, new sleeves, and of course, a new beautiful binder. Use code galzo5 or checkout to support me in the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Peace.